Hi, this is Bett Bollhoefer and welcome to this foundations class. Today we're going to be working on the feet, the hips, and the shoulders. But during all that hard work, we're going to continually bring our mind to the tongue. And are we softening? What happens, I notice in my own life, is that I'll be working on something really hard and my tongue will be a knot. And this creates jaw pain and neck pain and even shoulder pain and even a headache. So if we can learn how to mindfully soften the tongue, even while doing hard work, we can bring so much more joy to our lives and de-stress. So I'm going to be continually reminding you through today's practice to soften the tongue. And I hope this habit transfers to the rest of your life. So I'm Bett Bollhoefer. I have tons of different classes on my channel, and I just want to make a note before we get going that I highly recommend my new book, Daily Yoga, which is all about how to create a practice that supports your life. You can find out about how to buy my book in the show notes for this YouTube. For today, you need a chair and 2 blocks. With that, let's all come onto our back on the chair. So we're going to start off with our legs up the chair. So bringing the chair to the bottom of the mat and then bringing the legs on top. And we're going to start with a little body scan. We're going to start with 3 physiological sighs, inhaling through the nose in 2 parts. Feeling light on the inhale and exhale through the mouth, feeling heavy. Now let's bring our attention to our tongue. The tip of the tongue, the center of the tongue, and the back of the tongue, feeling like your whole tongue is melting. And then bring attention to your feet. And then your ankles. The shins and the calves. And then again to your tongue. Is it still soft? The fronts and backs of the knees. The front and back of the thighs. The hips. Notice the back of the hips and if they're lying evenly on the ground. And again, bring the attention to the tongue. Is it still soft? Let's note the full length of the spine from the tailbone to the cervical spine. The watery belly. The diaphragm. The chest. The rib cage. And then notice the shoulder blades. Are they lying evenly on the ground? And then the full length of the arms, from the shoulders down to the fingertips. And then notice the tongue again. Notice the weight of the head. The full weight of the body lying on the ground. Now let's check in with our emotional state. If there's multiple emotions happening at the same time, just let each of them be recognized and notice where in your body they are manifesting. And just note each of the different emotions and say, I recognize you. Sometimes your emotions just want to be recognized. And now turn your attention to the mental state and notice if there's any thoughts you should be aware of. No judgment, just observation. And notice your tongue again. Did your tongue tighten up as you're focused on your thoughts? Go ahead and soften it again. And then return your mind to just noticing and observing the thought patterns. All right, let's set an intention for the practice today. How do you want to feel when we're finished? We're going to try to do an Om from laying down. Just be aware that it might be hard, but you can go ahead and try. So we're going to do an inhale and then a full exhale, and then another inhale and then the Om. So first inhale, exhale, inhale, Om. And again, notice if you tightened your tongue during the Om and just relax it again. All right, so we're going to start with the foot, the right foot. We're going to take the right foot up into a figure 4, even as we're staying on the chair. And you can do this with socks on or socks off, whatever is fine. So we're just going to take our hand onto the toes and push the toes back and forth, up and down, just squishing the toes, folding them over, pulling them back. Be gentle, as people often get cramps when they push their toes in directions that they're not used to. So just be gentle, bringing some blood flow into the platforms of our body today, starting with the feet. So squishing the toes. Let's do one more in each direction. And then let's take our thumbs and massage the bottom of our foot. So bring the thumbs into the plantar fascia. Just digging in gently. If your plantar fascia has any tenderness, be especially tender with this organ of your body. And then let's take our heel and squish it with our hand. The heel can take a lot more punishment than the rest of our foot, so you can be a little bit more firm. And then we're going to take our hands to the ankle and squeeze it in one direction with the hands, going in opposite directions, and then go the other direction. So we're like wringing out the ankle. Let's do it a few times. Usually feels pretty good. And then squeeze it a little bit. All right, we're going to put the right foot back onto the chair, bringing the left foot down into a figure 4. And let's start off with the toes, just pushing them down and back. The toes get so much disrespect. We need to send some love to our toes. Send some blood flow and some love. keeping the toes healthy and strong. Let's just do a few more, back and forth. Great, and let's take the thumbs and massage the plantar fascia, starting at the big ball toe, working down. Make sure your head is resting as you do this work. All right, let's take our hand to the heel and be a little more firm, squeezing the heel. And then we're going to take both of our hands to the ankle and twist one hand one direction and twist the other hand the other direction, going back and forth. Bring some blood flow into the ankles. Should feel good. Squeeze a little bit. All right, so we have now finished the first platform of our feet, of our body, our feet and ankles. We're gonna now just do a little check-in on the hips. So we're gonna take our right foot back into figure 4, press on the right knee away from the body, and just check in with the tightness of the IT band, the glute, piriformis, whatever you can feel. Just noting that. We're just doing a little test. And then let's bring that right foot back, bring the left foot onto figure 4. Press the left knee away, checking in on the left side of the hip. This is our initial conditions before the experiment that we call yoga. How is that IT band, glute, piriformis, whatever you can feel. All right, we're gonna push ourselves off the chair. So return the left foot up, and then you can inch yourself away from the chair and just come and lay on your back with your knees bent, feet as wide as the mat. And now if you want to, you can put your head on a blanket and you put your hands wherever you feel like. And let's just come into noticing in this new position, just maybe looking around the room. Take a few deep breaths through the nose, out through the mouth. Just getting settled. All right. So we're going to now rock the knees from side to side, inhaling to the right, just 1 inch, exhale to the left, 1 inch, and start noticing the sacrum. So just this 1 inch back and forth will be massaging the sacrum. And now let's go 2 inches in each direction. Now we're getting a little more into the glute. So just a tiny little rock. The parabola, if you were measuring the parabola of your knee, it just would be 2 inches in each direction now. Now let's do 3 inches. And on 3 inches, you may notice that you're getting maybe a little bit more into the upper back. What else is getting engaged as you go 3 inches in each direction? All right, let's go as far as you can to the right with an inhale, and then far as you can to the left with an inhale, with an exhale. Just flopping the knees back and forth. And notice where in your body does this stretch go. These are dynamic movements that we're doing here. And as we're doing this, I want you to bring your attention again to the tongue. Are you tightening your tongue? What's going on with the tongue right now? All right, now we're going to start lifting the hips. So next time you come over to the right, lift the left hip up by pressing to the left foot. drop that hip, flop over to the left and lift the right hip. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you drop. Now we're using a little muscle. So notice again, did you tighten the tongue? And if so, did it help? Does tongue tightening help in other parts of life? Just ask that question and notice. All right, one more on each side. We're going to straighten the legs, shake out the feet. Windshield wiper for the feet. You can shake the hips a little bit. All right. So let's just lay here in a little Shavasana and notice the hips and see if we've done anything so far from the initial state. All right, we're going to do a little flow of a 3-step progression in hip strengthening and mobility. So first of all, we're going to grab our block and bring it into our hands. Then we're going to bend the knees and lift the hips a few inches off the ground, enough to place the block underneath the hips, underneath the sacrum. So make sure the block is nice and even. And then we're going to settle here for a moment, take another breath. And then we're going to stretch out the left leg, and we're going to do a little flow with the right leg. So we're going to bring the right knee into the chest, interlace the fingers around the shin. We're not squeezing it or pulling it. We're just very gently having the knee right here. Then we're going to open the knee out to the right, bringing the hand onto the right knee. That's your exhale. Then you're going to inhale the knee back into the chest with the hands interlaced around the shin. Then we're going to bring the knee into the left hand, cross body. Stretch through the right hand. That's your exhale. Doing a little IT band stretch. Remember, you're not doing anything too hard. It's very gentle. And we're just going to hand the knee across the body from hand to hand, interlacing the fingers in the middle. Exhaling each time you move your knee away from your face. We're just going to go back and forth. This is phase 1. This is phase 1, and this is the gentle, very, very gentle version of this, just slowly warming up, bringing some blood flow into the hips. And now as you do this, just again note the tongue. Did the tongue get tight to help you in this movement? All right, we're going to now move to phase 2. Phase 2 starts next time you bring your knee to the center, interlacing the fingers. We're going to now press the knee away from our face, pushing the shin into the hands. So now that we're isometrically strengthening and releasing that psoas. Then we're going to bring the knee into the right hand. It looks the same as what we were doing, but now we're going to press the right knee into the right hand, activating the inner thigh. Then we're going to bring the knee in the middle again, pressing the shin away, and then bring the knee cross body into the left, pressing the right knee into the left hand, activating the IT band. So we're just going to go cross body, handing the knee back and forth, but now with this little isometric pressure. It's still gentle, but it's a little bit more. And now again, note the tongue. Did it get tight? Is that helping you? Loosen the tongue. All right, we're going to do one more with this little isometric, and then we're going to move to phase 3. So next time you come to the center, we're going to do look, mom, no hands. We're gonna take the hands away and we're going to bring the knee into the center, open it out to the right with no hands, bring it into the center, and then cross body. So now we're working on mobility, the mobility of the hip to move without any help. Now, there's two parts to phase 3, two options. The first option is knee bent. The second option is leg straight. Now, cautionary tales for leg straight. You really need to be gentle and listen to your body. So with leg straight, you're going to probably not be able to bring your leg as high because your hamstrings are very, very tight. So I'd rather have your leg straight and a little bit farther away from your face, pushing through the heel. Then when you open up to the right, you may not be able to go all the way down. I want you to only go as far as feels safe that you can bring your leg back up with control. Then when you cross body, only bring it down as far as you can bring it back up safely. There will be no awards given for injuries today. So be very gentle with your leg. So we're just going to do a few of them. Remember, you can have the option of knee bent or leg straight, whichever one feels better for you. And remember the breathing pattern. We inhale whenever the knee is coming towards the center. Exhale whenever you're moving away. And as you start getting into this, let's check our tongue. Did it get tight again? Can you loosen it? This is very challenging in case you're wondering. All right, let's just do one more in each direction. All right, let's go ahead and straighten that right leg and then let's remove the block and just check the hips. So let's do a little mini shavasana. Close the eyes, feel your heart beating. Notice your tongue. And then check the hips and see if we've done anything to the hips. All right, let's again bend the knees, lift the hips up enough to put the block back under the sacrum, position it, and then we're going to do the feet 3 phases again now on the left side. So straighten out the right leg. We're going to bring the left knee into the chest, interlace the fingers, but no pressing or pulling or anything. It's just the most gentle phase so far. So bring the knee in, bring the knee out to the left, activating the inner thigh, bring it in, and then cross body. My shoulder blades are staying on the ground. Bring it in. So move at your own pace. Remember to inhale whenever you bring the knee in. Exhale whenever you're crossing the knee across or away from your face. We're just warming up the joint before we start activating it with isometric, so just so gentle. All right, it's time to go to phase 2. So phase 2, interlace the fingers at the center, press the knee away from your face, then open up to the left, press the knee into the hand, activating the inner thigh, bring the knee in again, press it away from your face, and then bringing it across body to the right hand, activating the IT band by pressing the knee into the right hand. So go ahead and continue on this one. Notice your tongue. Did it get tight? And can you make it more soft? Notice that this side is very different than the other side. We are not symmetric creatures. All right, it's time to go to phase 3. Look, Mom, no hands. All right, so remember your options. Keep the knee bent, opening it up, coming to the middle, coming across body, or you can straighten the leg. Just remember to listen to your body this whole time and soften your tongue. Only come down as far as you can bring the leg back up safely with control. Inhaling whenever you're bringing it to the center, exhale whenever you're moving out to the sides. You may notice this side is so much weaker or so much easier. Just note that. Maybe it's tighter and easier. There's all kinds of weird combinations. All right, we're just going to do one more in all the directions. And then go ahead and finish at your own pace. Let's put the feet down on the ground, lift the hips up, bring the block out, and just let our backs decompress. Oh, you can windshield wiper out the feet, straighten the legs, and then wiggle the hips. And let's just notice the aftermath of the hip on the hips. So just lie flat in Shavasana. You can close your eyes if you want to. And then notice the tongue. Is it nice and relaxed? All right, so we're going to work on our shoulders now, give our poor hips a break. So we're going to reach our arms directly towards the ceiling. The elbows are straight, the fingers are straight. We're going to continue to have the arms straight during this whole exercise. We're going to lift from the shoulder blade up, reaching the right hand towards the ceiling. Then we're going to set that shoulder blade down on the ground and then lift the left shoulder blade up. So we're marching the shoulder blades, the arms remain completely straight. We're going to inhale as we lift, exhale as we lower. So let's start noticing the tightness in the shoulders or the looseness. And then notice the tongue. Is the tongue getting tight as we do this exercise? Can you loosen the tongue? Notice if you're able to reach another inch higher. All right, one more on each side. And then let the arms just drop by your sides. Take a moment to rest, noticing the improvement or any change in the shoulder blades. We're going to now take the hands from by the hips and bring them by over our head to the ground overhead. So inhaling up, exhale down. Really stretch through the fingers and the elbows the whole way. Notice your tongue. Have you tightened it? All right, one more. Then let the arms rest. Notice the shoulder blades. We're going to now make snow angels. So if you have enough space to move your legs also, if you have cups of water near you, you can move those. So if you have any props near, we're going to make snow angels on our mat, on our back. So move everything out of the way. And then let's make snow angels. So bringing the arms overhead, opening the legs, bringing the arms down, open. Inhaling, open. And as we do this little movement, see if you're tightening your tongue. All right, just one more. And then just rest again, noticing any changes in the hips or in the shoulder blades. All right, we're gonna flip onto our belly. So for the next one, I want you to just take a look at me before you come down onto your belly so you can make sure that you can see what I'm doing and don't strain your neck once you come onto your belly. So the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna take my blanket and I'm gonna make a little roll so that I can put my forehead on my blanket, and that's gonna allow me to breathe while I'm on my belly. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I have lots of space overhead, because we're gonna be doing something similar like we did with the snow angels that we're gonna be doing on the belly. So just take a look at me. I have a wall ahead of me, so I have to move myself down a little bit. So we're gonna take our hands onto our sacrum, and we're gonna be letting our forehead rest. We're gonna lift the legs and bring the arms overhead. So very similar to what we were doing on our belly, except now we're just lifting the legs straight up with an inhale, and then exhale, bring your arms back. So two options for this one: you can lift your arms and your head up and look up, or you can just keep your head rested the whole time. All right, so those are the options. So go ahead and come onto your belly and try not to look at me once you're down, because it's not good for the neck to be doing that. All right, so let's all do it together. Inhaling up, exhale back. Lifting the legs, bringing the arms out. Like a little modified Superman. All right, last one. Best one yet. And let's hold for 5 breaths. And 5, and then just relax. Let your head down. Put your arms wherever the arms feel comfortable. Just let them rest. Feel your heart beating. All right. So we're going to push up into a neutral table. You can move your blanket underneath your knees for cat-cow. So bringing the blanket to the middle of the mat. And let's just do a nice little cat-cow. And as we do it, really note the hips, the shoulders. So let's drop the head towards the pubic bone, bring the pubic bone towards the forehead. That's your exhale. And as you're staying here just for one moment, soften the tongue. And then inhale, looking up, furling the tailbone. This is your inhale. And again, let's just take a moment here at the top of the inhale and soften the tongue. And then going at your own pace, back and forth. And as you move, Noticing the hips, the full spine, and your shoulders, and then coming and noticing the tongue. All right, one more. And then we're going to come into a neutral table and we're going to work on a dynamic hunting dog. All right. So dynamic hunting dog is a full body movement. So make sure that you have plenty of room overhead and behind you. So this is what it looks like. We're going to be lifting the right arm and the left leg. And things to note here, push through the heel and keep the sacrum completely flat. Don't allow the sacrum to come up this way or fall down this way. So we really want the sacrum to stay flat, reaching through the shoulder, through the fingers, bringing that left leg down, the right arm down, lifting the left arm and the left leg. So we're looking for quality versus quantity. We're going to move very slowly with the breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. Very slow, conscious movements. And then as you're doing all this, focusing on quality, how's that tongue? Is it getting tight? Go ahead and soften. So we're working on the mobility of the shoulders and the hips in this dynamic hunting dog. And ask yourself, can you lift the leg a little bit higher while maintaining the quality of the movement? All right, we're going to do one more. This one even more perfect, but at the same time, is the tongue getting tight? All right, finish up your last one. And let's come into a child's pose. Have your block nearby. Have your block right next to you because we're going to bring that underneath the elbows, but not yet. So we're going to start off with a regular child's pose, taking the knees wide, bring the big toes together, stretch the arms out, let your forehead rest, and feel your heart beating. And feel your tongue. Let your tongue relax. Now take your block, put it underneath the elbows, and you may need 2 blocks. Make a little wall with the blocks if that helps, or make it higher. We're going to take the elbows onto the blocks or block, bring the hands into prayer, and then drop the head through the shoulder, through the biceps. And your head will either come to the ground or just hang. And we're just going to stay here and open the shoulders, breathing into the shoulders and softening our tongue. All right, one more breath. And then coming up slowly. Go ahead and remove the blocks. And we're going to do another shoulder opener. Thread the needle dynamically. So a dynamic thread the needle, we're going to be in a neutral table. If you had taken your blanket away, you can go ahead and put that back under the knees. So we're going to be lifting. We're going to start with the right arm, lifting up, inhaling, exhaling through, threading the needle. So you can go ahead and join me, inhaling up, exhale down. And last one. And then we're going to go ahead and come onto the other side. So bringing the left arm up into the sky. Inhale, exhale through under the right arm. And last one. Great. So we're going to now work on squat practice. Yes, I know, it's so fun. All right, so squats come in many shapes and sizes. One of them is the very wide-legged squat. So you could have a very wide-legged, you can put your hands on blocks, you can bring your feet right underneath you. If you notice that your heels are in the sky, then you could put your heels on a blanket. Lots and lots of options. We're gonna stay for a whole minute. So whatever your option is, I'm gonna start the timer as soon as everyone's in it. All right? Okay, let's go. So let's take a moment to do a body scan in our beautiful little malasana pose. So take a look down at your toes. Make sure your toes are movable. Movable toes are very good. Don't want to tighten those toes up. And then notice the whole foot should feel really grounded because of the massage we started with. Notice the ankles. Now the ankles are getting really strong in this squat pose because it is working and squeezing. We're squeezing those ankle bones. The whole shin, working hard, the calf, the knees, all the muscle ligaments of the knees are getting stronger as we do this. The whole quadricep is getting so strong. The glutes, the hips, the core. 3, 2, 1. Let's put our hands on the ground and push the tailbone directly up into a forward fold. So bringing the feet underneath the hips. Let's do a little opening of the hamstrings here. So grab the elbows and just ragdoll, letting your head rock. You can keep the knees bent if the hamstrings are tight. Just rocking, enjoying. Let's do a little flow here. So you guys don't need to look at me. Just keep your head down. Let's take the right hand to the left foot, lifting the left hand to the sky with an inhale. Then exhale the left hand down, touch it to the right foot, lifting the right hand to the sky. So we're just alternating, lifting one arm to the sky, starting to strengthen and open up the hamstrings. We haven't done too much with the hamstrings yet today, so they might be very tight. All right, one more on each side. And then come to the center and go ahead and straighten them and just notice how tight the hamstrings are feeling. So only straighten them as much as feels safe. You can put your hands on blocks. And then we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. very, very slowly with your head last so you don't get a head rush. All right. So let's stand in Tadasana for a moment so that we can feel this different position that our body is in. So bringing our weight over the middle of our feet, making sure our feet are hip width apart, micro bend the knees, drop the tailbone, bring the whole tailbone and pubic bone into neutral stance. Bring the shoulders over the hips. And let's just close our eyes and do a few breaths. Tadasana, mountain pose. It's the Shavasana of standing. You can feel your heart beating. Notice your tongue. We're going to do a little circle in one direction, starting with bringing our weight over to the left, bring it to the side, over the front of the foot, bring it over to the right and then behind. And let's just do one more. And as we do this little tiny circles, just standing in Tadasana, notice the tongue. And as you are kind of throwing yourself off balance, notice if the tongue is trying to tighten, as if that could actually help. So just notice the tongue while circling, and then let's reverse. Just go a few times around in this direction, softening the tongue. All right, let's come to center. Just note what center feels like for one more breath. And then softly open the eyes. All right, so we are going to now do some pretty hard work. So bring your chair to the top of your mat. And we're going to work on a Warrior 3 flow. So the Warrior 3 flow is going to be working on all the things that we've been building up to. It's going to work on the mobility of our hips and arms. So I'm going to show you the flow first, and then you can join me after. I'm just going to try to get more centered. Okay, so just watch and note the things that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to first bring my weight onto my left foot. I'm going to be inhaling my right knee into the chest, just like we were doing laying down, look mom, no hands. And then we're going to exhale, bringing the right heel behind us, straight, just like we did in hunting dog, pressing through the heel, reaching the arms. This is where the chair comes in. You can just grab onto that chair if you need to. We're not working so much on trying to balance, but more of using the hips. So stretching through the Warrior 3, making sure the sacrum is straight and lifting that heel. So watch me. I'm lifting the heel. Does it hurt more? Absolutely. That's what I'm looking for. Now watch carefully. I'm going to bend my left knee and bring the foot back. I'm still holding on the chair. I can even hold down here. Bring the foot behind me. And then once I'm really sure everything looks good, I'm pressing through the right heel. My left knee is bent. Then I'm going to inhale the arms up. Looking through the hands or looking straight. Looking through the hands is a big challenge on the balance. Then after a breath or two here, I'm going to bring the arms back, shifting my weight onto my left leg, gently straightening that left leg, lifting that right leg back into the Warrior 3, and then bringing the knee back into the chest and bringing it down. So that's what it looks like. You guys with me? We're gonna try it, okay? Remember, this chair is here. You can just grab on for life. It's not, you're gonna be okay, promise. All right, so let's do it. Let's bring the weight into the left foot. Inhale the right knee into the chest, lifting the arms. Exhale, bring the right leg behind you as high as you can, pushing through the right heel. The arms are straight. You can grab onto the chair. Warrior 3. Then let's take one more breath in Warrior 3. And then we're going to gradually bend the left knee and bring the right leg down behind you. This is a balance pose. Trust me, it's hard. Press the knee, the foot, the right heel towards the ground, straightening that right leg, then the left foot, the left knee. Inhale the arms up. And now either look up or look straight. Let's stay here for 2 breaths. And now we're going to start moving back to our warrior 3. So look forward, move your weight gently and slowly onto the left leg. Either grab onto the chair or keep the arms straight as you lift the right leg back up into your warrior 3. Remember, quality, meaning that we're lifting the heel as high as possible. Now the leg is fully straight. Then we slowly come back up to straight, lifting the right knee into the chest. Balance is very challenging. Inhaling, and then we exhale the right knee down. Let's stand for a moment and maybe shake it out. Do a little dance. Wow. Is that hard? Or is that just me? All right, let's close our eyes and feel our heart beating and also soften the tongue. So note internally what went well and what could have gone better. We're going to try to do it again on the other side, but now with the learnings that we've just learned from the first side. And also during this next one, I'm going to be reminding you to notice the tongue. This whole thing is not about trying to get this perfect, trying to measure yourself against your history or some person on Instagram. It's really about, can you soften your tongue while doing something challenging? That's actually what we're trying to do. Can we keep noting our internal state while doing something hard? That's the lesson that we're trying to bring to the rest of our life. All right, one more breath into Tadasana, closing our eyes. And then open up the eyes gently. Okay, so let's bring the weight to the right foot and then note the tongue. All right, bring the left knee into the chest with the mindfulness on the tongue. And then we're going to exhale, coming into a warrior 3, pressing through the left foot, trying to keep the sacrum nice and flat while lifting the leg as high as possible. Remember, you can just grab onto this chair and notice your tongue. Is it tight? And now we're going to gently start bending the right leg. You can just be holding onto the chair. It's fine. Bend that right leg, gently stretching the left behind you till you find the ground. Then we're going to continue to hold onto the chair as we bend the right knee fully. Press the left heel towards the ground, straightening that leg, stretch the hamstring, and then notice the tongue. Inhale the right arm, the arms up into the sky. Either look forward or through the hands for an extra balance challenge. Let's take 2 deep breaths here. And I just want you to focus on the tongue. Is it soft? Is it hard? What's going on? One more. Okay, we're going to transition back to our warrior 3, but I want you to keep the mind on the tongue. So we're going to start bringing the hands towards the chair. You can grab on if you want to. And then notice the tongue. Start straightening the right leg and lifting the left towards the sky. Is your sacrum flat? Can't you go a little higher? How's the tongue? All right, we're going to start bringing the weight back upwards, stretching the arms and the knee up into the sky on the left leg. And then notice the tongue, and then exhale slowly down, bringing the left leg down to meet the right. Whew. Let's close the eyes, feel our heart beating, and soften the tongue. Oh, yes. All right. So the success of this whole exercise was not trying to make the perfect warrior three, the perfect crescent. It was just noticing, do we have a habit of tightening things that don't need to be tightened, bringing more stress into our body? Just noticing that is success. All right, good job, everyone. Let's do a big wide-legged forward fold. So taking the legs out nice and wide, you can bring the hands either onto the ground or onto blocks. And let's just let our forehead hang and just let your brain rest down towards the ground. Notice your tongue. Can you relax a little more? Let's do one more long inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Shake the head gently, side to side. And then we're going to heel toe the feet in and then come down through a squat, coming onto our butt. Great. So we're going to have Shavasana very shortly. So if you want to pull on socks or your sweatshirt, I'm a big sock person, as everyone knows. So Shavasana, it's on its way. It's on its way. It's so close. We're going to do a little happy baby, and then feel free to use your chair for Shavasana. If you're going to use your chair, I always like either putting a blanket at the bottom or maybe a bolster at the bottom of the chair, because it just feels really nice. So if you want to do that option, go ahead and set yourself up. So we're going to do first a happy baby. So let's all get set up and then join in a happy baby, grabbing the outside of the legs or the feet, rocking back and forth, just letting our breath start returning to normal. Feeling the change in our hips and our shoulder blades as we do our little happy baby, rocking back and forth. And then let's rock up and down. Notice if there's anything that's tight from the work we've done. If you need to do any other little stretches, maybe stretching the legs straight or bringing the knees into the chest, whatever you want to do here, do a little Baddha Konasana. Go ahead and do that, and then come onto your chair or your favorite Shavasana pose. So that might look different for each of you, but whatever else you need to do, maybe a little twist. Yes, whatever feels good, and then come into Shavasana. So we started today with our legs up the chair, and we're going to finish the day the same way. And we're going to again check in on our body. What did we do? How did we change? So let's start with a body scan. But before we do the whole body, let's start with the tongue. Just letting the tongue rest. The tip of the tongue, the middle, and the base. Fully relaxed. And let's do 3 physiological sighs. On the inhale through the nose, I want you to feel like you're floating. And on the exhale, sinking into the ground. Nice long sigh. You can even blubber the lips. Really sinking. Let's notice our feet. Send some love to your beautiful feet. Notice the ankles. Send love to the beautiful ankles. Noticing and sending love to the calves and the shins. Noticing and sending love to the front and back of the knees. Sending love to the back and front of the thighs. Noticing the tongue again. Is it soft? Melting. And then notice the hips. Are the two sides of the hips laying a little more evenly since the work we've done? Notice the full length of the spine from the tailbone, sacrum, all the way up to the cervical spine. Send some love to the whole spine. Send some love to the belly. The diaphragm. The chest. The ribs. Take special note of the shoulder blades and notice that they're lying a little more evenly than the beginning of class. Notice the full length of the arms, the heaviness all the way down to the fingertips. Sending love to your whole torso, your arms. And then notice the heaviness of your head. Notice the tongue again, melting. Send some love to your whole head. Send love to your whole body. And then let's check in with our emotional state. Notice if there's any shift. Send some love to your emotions and yourself. And then notice the mental state. If there's any shift in your mental state. Send some love to your mind. And finally, remember your intention for practice today. All right, we're going to gently come out of our Shavasana. So if you're on your chair, go ahead and push the chair out of the way. or roll off of it, whichever one is easier. And come and lay flat for another moment, letting your back come back into a normal pose. Straighten out. And just take another moment here. All right, let's do 3 more physiological sighs. 2-part inhale, exhale through the mouth. Stretch the arms overhead, stretch the legs. Pull the knees in, just rock back and forth. And then roll onto one side. Thanking yourself for coming to yoga today. And then when you're ready, go ahead and push yourself up to sit. And we'll do an Om together. So exhaling all the air out, bring the hands over heart. Inhale. And then exhale one more time. Inhale for an Om. And may the benefits of this practice benefit you and everyone you meet. Namaste. So I'm Bett Bollhoefer. If you like this class, consider buying my new book, Daily Yoga, which is all a practical guide on how to set up a practice for life. And a practice for life means that you adapt yoga to yourself and your own needs. And those needs are going to change over time. So as you go through different life circumstances, you will find that you need different support. And the yoga toolkit has everything that you need to feel supported, vibrant, living an intentional life. So please consider buying Daily Yoga by Bett Bollhoefer. It really supports me and helps me continue to do this work. If you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel. I have over 70 different videos on yoga, all kinds of different inspiration. I have many different speeches on my channel about all the different things I'm interested in. Leave a comment and share with a friend who might need this. I hope that you use these lessons on bringing attention to the tongue as you work on the various hard things that you do in your life. Thank you so much. Namaste.